It's 2010 and there are a lot of cool RC aircraft out there. They're quad rotor, 2-channel, 4-channel, tandem RC. I saw this 3-channel RC aircraft and I was really curious. I just had to know how it worked. You've got 3 rotors here. These 2 are the back. This is the front. These 2 on the back spin in opposite directions so they counteract each other's torque. This one on the front has its torque counteracted by the back 2 being at slight angles. It's called thrust vectoring. The alien jump jet does the same thing. It's got a slight tilt to both rotors so that it causes the aircraft to spin in one direction, counteracting the torque of the front. And to control your forward and reverse motion, this blade speeds up and slows down, so it lifts the aircraft up or lets the aircraft drop forward. And to control your left and right spin, it actually has a small servo built in here that controls the tilt of this front rotor here. And one of the really nice features about this is it does have the A, B, and C, and you can define whatever channel you want this aircraft to be. I'll go ahead and put it on B, turn the transmitter on, and then go ahead and turn on the aircraft. You'll see the servo there centering up. Now it doesn't really seem to have a piezoelectric gyro on there. It doesn't really seem to need one. It's a pretty stable design. Now it's got a fully functional 3-channel remote. You've got your thrust up and down, and you've got your forward and your reverse and your spin left and right. One of the things you need to know about this aircraft is it doesn't like to fly in reverse. The fact that all these engines are tilted at different angles, whenever you start going in reverse, it kind of wants to spin around. So usually whenever you start out, you want to try not to fly just slightly forward. And you do that by spinning this knob counterclockwise, just a tiny little bit. You usually want it to have just a little bit of forward motion to keep it from being a little unstable. Now you get about 6 minutes worth of flight time with this aircraft, and the charge time is about 24 minutes, and it charges off the transmitter. Got a nice little plug up in there. And let's go ahead and see how she flies. Now the servo is pretty responsive. It turns whenever you want it to. Whenever you let off the controls, it goes into a pretty nice stable hover. And if you notice it spinning or moving, if you lift off and you notice it spinning out of control, try and trim it to move forward a little bit and then trim your spin out and you should be okay. Now when it comes to actually flying this aircraft, I would say 1 out of 10, 10 being the hardest, 1 being the easiest. This is probably a 3.5 or a 4. It takes a little experience to fly it. If you have no experience, it's probably going to be a little bit of trouble to get the hang of, but after you get the hang of it, it really is a nice, stable, steady little platform. Now, one of the only real complaints I have with this is the transmitter stick. The right transmitter stick isn't very secure on there. It kind of jiggles loosely on there. It'd be nice for that to be a little more secure, but other than that, it's a nice, fun little aircraft. One thing I really do like doing is flying in the dark, because the flashing lights really help you keep your orientation. And they're not too terribly bright, but they're just bright enough to light up the room so you can, see the walls before you hit them. And it's really a lot of fun. Most of my aircraft, I'm not going to fly in the pitch black darkness, but this one you really can. And you'll get a few UFO sightings around if you go fly the south side. There's a lot of engineering that went into this. You've got 4 motors being controlled, you've got the lithium battery, you've got all the control circuitry, plastic body interlocks so nicely together, and it's really strong. For $23.99 you get the 3-channel aircraft and you get the transmitter. You don't get any spare parts. It isn't the easiest aircraft in the world to fly. Your first time flying this, don't just put it on your coffee table and expect to jump around in the sky. Make sure you trim it first, make sure you trim it to move forward, make sure you trim your left-right trim. But for $23.99 it's a pretty good deal. I think it's a nice aircraft. It looks cool, it flies cool. Altogether, I think it's a pretty cool little aircraft, and if you want one, go check it out. It's the Space Explorer TT-891 3-rotor, 3-channel RC aircraft. Thanks for watching RC 101. Tune in for more fun videos.